conceptual perspective to view things. People talk about a desire to be successful, all of the elements.
Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope that you're getting your week off to a good start. No matter what you may be facing, no matter what you may be going through, there's still tomorrow. There's still the next day. There's some work you can do on yourself. By now, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard about the death of Kobe Bryant, and I've talked about how I will choose to remember him and what I remember him for, which isn't so much basketball. And I talked about that yesterday. I talked about in a previous video uh, that we might want to be a little careful in all of the conspiracy theories and everything else, but it's kind of hard not to think about conspiracies when we've seen so many that were actually truly conspiracies. But that's not why I'm here to talk to you right now. The reason I'm here to talk to you right now is that there's something that can be taken away from that. This is an extreme cautionary tale about a constant reality that we tend to ignore under normal circumstances. What do I mean by this? The moment it happened, you started to see people hit their timelines with take time to love your family, take time to tell somebody you care, call somebody, and all of the other things. Life is a vapor, life is transitory, the fragility of life. We saw all of that. And we see it consistent enough in other ways, and we tend to look at it when something like this happens as being cliche-ish and pretentious, because the first thing pops up is you didn't even know him, and without giving consideration to the manner in which we often live vicariously through others who have established a presence in this world. But that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is this is a time that we experience death, and we see death, and it hits whether you knew them or not, because it was unexpected, and the last thing you were ever expecting to hear was that person is going to die. It's going to have an impact. It happened with Michael Jackson. It happened with Princess Diana. It happened with Prince. It happened with back in the day, Marvin Gaye and so many others, Malcolm, Martin. You can go on and on. People who lost their lives for whatever reason in the prime of their lives, and it wasn't expected, and they had notoriety. It brings home the truth about the fragility of life. You hear it, but you're not thinking about it. The truth is, I personally know several parents who buried their children this past year. I know literally 100 deaths that came across my desk that families suffered the loss of a loved one. The problem is those don't get notoriety, only among those who know the family. So people are dying constantly, and it's a constant reminder of the fragility of life. Nothing is promised to you. You don't know when you wake up in the morning that you head out to work that you're coming back home. That's the truth of it. So, while it sounds cliche-ish, while it sounds like, oh Lord, here we go, all these people that don't know him, I'm not about to build the social concept theory that covers vicarious living and why we can be so emotionally connected to people we don't know. It exists. I'll just tell you that it exists. And the reason you're seeing it is that it exists. It's not false. It's not people that are faking like something. It really bothers some people. I mean, uh, in the depths of there were literally thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions of people around the world crying when Michael Jackson died. In some kind of way, every last one of them has this memory that they created with Mike, and they never met him. It was, whether it was a concert they attended, whether it was video they saw, whether it was whatever, their first Mike album, whatever. That connection is there, and they experience a certain level of loss. That as far as I'm going to go into that. But what I'm saying is, it's when someone like that dies that we actually stop and go, wow. Now we're losing people every day, but we don't know them. You know, there are people, if you are in a city as large as the one I live in, Houston, the fourth largest city in this country, people die every day in this city, but we don't see it. If we don't know them and we're not a part of it, they're dying every day. I had an old schoolmate burying his 19-year-old son, burying his 19-year-old son. So what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that's a cautionary tale. The reason we can take something from this is that everybody can do better in loving on the people in their family, in taking life and seeing it for the precious experience that it is and how fragile it can be. You know, if you're like me, you've buried a couple of siblings long before their time. You've buried some other relatives that you didn't see it coming, and you've seen it, and sometimes it seems like it's happening in rapid succession, and it jars you. But so many people are not experiencing it or understanding the importance of what's being presented to you. This is a warning at a distance of the fragility of life and how short life can really be. You know, I've watched a number of mothers bury sons that were barely into their 20s. I have a few that buried daughters that were barely into their 20s. I've seen so many babies that come across. I've dealt with some teen suicides with parents in multiple different places and cities in this country, and the devastation that it caused. You don't know when it's going to be the last time that you get to say something. You don't know if it's going to be your last time to make an impression on this world, to do something positive. You have a short period of time to make your imprint on this world. You have a short period of time from which you can sit up and actually let the world know you were here. And it starts with the people that you're most connected to. Let them know you love them. Let them know you're there for them. Give them some of you that can lift them, that can inspire them, that can encourage them, that can strengthen them. One of the reasons I'm on here every day doing these free videos is because I want to give the world something that will outlast me, something people can read and see and talk about and touch and feel. The books that I write are a part of my legacy. I want to touch lives. I want to be more than somebody that just came into this world and existed. You know, my question that in talking about this, sorry, that's baby. I hate doing this, but like there's certain things she sends that needs an immediate response. And that's the importance that I give to that particular person in my life. I'm never too busy. Unless I'm with a client in an actual session, I answer her calls. And it doesn't necessarily go across right, but that's what's important to me because I don't know what'll happen between when I finish this video and I try to reach out to her. Those are the things that I've been doing for a while because I see death so commonly. But this is what this is. This is a wake-up call. His death in the grand scope of the world isn't he's not more important than anybody else that dies, but because of his status and the fact that the world sees him differently, it sends a message differently, and you can't ignore that. You can get mad all you want to. Why are we tripping? He's just, if it was I've heard if that was an average person we wouldn't be tripping. That's because we don't know him. But the people who are connected to them will be tripping. They'll be hurting. And so what that means is don't wait till somebody dies before you start getting the message that life is meant to live. It's meant to be engaged. It's meant to be something powerful. Live your life to make an impact. Live your life to tell somebody. Call somebody today and say, you are on my mind. I just want to tell you, I may have never told you this before, but you inspire me. Or I've been praying for you. I've been lifting you up. If there's anything I can do, let me know. That's something that we have a responsibility to do. We walk through this life as if we've got a certain amount of years we know are promised to us. And the truth of the matter is, if you haven't figured it out by now, every minute you have is precious. It's not guaranteed. No, it's not. So And that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Actually, go meet the little lady. But I'm gonna be shooting some stuff at you for the remainder of this week. Um, and I'm gonna get back to you on some other stuff we got going. But I didn't want to mix that with this message. I want this message to be this message. And so take the time. If you're married, take a special moment in a special way and say, I love you. Let each one of your kids, I've been talking to my kids. Now, I do this at least once a week with my kids. At the very worst, once every 10 days or so, I'm reaching out to my kids, my adult kids. Now, my kids at home, they hear it all the time. They get tired of hearing it. Like, all right, dude, all right. But the kids that are grown and out there trying to take on this world, I let them know, hey, look, you're not out there by yourself. I got you. But I did it again today, and and I'm gonna make an effort to even do it more. You get so caught up in your life that it squeezes you and it makes you small. All you're worrying about what's going on in the house, how the bills are gonna get paid, what's going on at work, and there's so much more to this world. There's so much more to this life. But situations will push you in and squeeze you. I'm challenging you to live. Touch outside of that box. Reach outside of that box. Do something exceptional and extraordinary. Help somebody, love somebody, tell somebody, touch somebody. Don't live life as if you got all the time in the world. You got 86,400 seconds in a day. What you do with them are going to determine how people see you at the end of this life. Make them count. Don't take life for granted. Don't take life for granted. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.
Here I come, ready or not. Frank Ocean make this record hot.
From a conceptual
sounded better than Jay.
perspective, people talk
Real
about
talk,
it as
I ain't throwing
success.
shots. Careful who you leave clueless.